love is kind, but love is only a state of mind. It's in your heart and in your soul, where nothing hurts like letting go of all you had, go of all you want, and surrender to a higher cause. And we will jump straight over the field. I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel. I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel. I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel. I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel. I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel. Clocks are ticking all the time, but I can show you where to find all the colors of your dreams. The world is opened up to me. It's how we feel, this is how we ride, as we find our place in the afterlife. And if we don't, this is how we kneel. And I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel. I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel. I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel. I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel. I know it's right, oh baby, this is how I like to feel.
You say you love me, but I don't think that is true. It's all for you, all that I do. It's hard to escape all the problems in your brain, but it's okay. When things don't go your way, I said, girl, don't lose your faith, 'cause you won't always be your face. I'm trying to deal with all the money and the fame, but it's okay when things don't go your way. I said, girl, don't lose your faith, 'cause you won't always be alone. You're more than your mistakes. You'll always have a home in your heart, in your mind. Well, I saw in your eyes that I need to let go. I said, girl, don't lose your faith. Don't lose your faith. That was good. I said, girl, don't lose your faith, 'cause you won't always be alone. You're more than your mistakes. You'll always have a home in your heart, in your mind. Well, I saw in your eyes that I need to let go. I said, girl, don't lose your faith. Don't lose your faith, faith. Running in circles, never leave me alone. Say I don't answer the messages or pick up my phone. Say we all need some time just to settle down. Won't you come around, 'cause I never can leave it alone. Tell me your stories, but don't leave out the lies, 'cause I know I got some problems and I'm open to mine. So we all need some time just to settle down. Won't you come around, 'cause I never can leave it alone. Talking about somebody rolling, boulevard dining, making it count for efforts I can't explain. Balling and feeling we drowning, never been humbled by playing the fighter. Never been broken, never been battered. Suddenly changing, thinking I'm never amounting to nothing. Been chasing a stereotypical fantasy, acting like everything happens for reasons. Still I just might hit. Been making me lose my mind, but telling myself why the hell did I write shit? When you sit there with your long legs, but bitching about something I don't know. Then you walk away realizing it's so predictable where we just won't go. And that's wedding bells in a chapel. Been nibbling on the wrong apple. Living life, emotions you never can manage. They picking me out of a raffle. Number one heartache coming from memories. Number two pencil style. We straight now, going opposite ways. These opposite days are making me think what to say now, and that's real. Running in circles, never leave me alone. Say I don't answer the messages or pick up my phone. Say we all need some time just to settle down. Won't you come around, 'cause I never can leave it alone. Tell me your stories, but don't leave out the lies, 'cause I know I got some problems and I'm open to mine. So we all need some time just to settle down. Won't you come around, 'cause I never can leave it alone. Been coming in closer, been taking my time when they speeding off, writing and signing these deals they supposed to. I don't get motivation for something I wanna pursue, spitting hotter than toasters. Saturday grinding, I'm better off sitting back, mixing and chilling some fucking mimosas. Should we toast her, making $1,000 in my pocket? Like fine, that's good for me now. Or say fuck it, I'm taking my shit to some levels and bringing my friends overseas now. I can do it, but promise me every time I'll be down lower than hell. You digging me back to the surface, rocking the stage. You think I'm just cocky, but really I'm drowning inside, feeling nervous. Sound of the violins of the alarm clock, they waking me up when the harm stop. I'm dreaming we staying together, but honestly you kinda act like it's all games. And I'm tired of this, but it's sad 'cause I feel like you fine with this. And I'm mad as hell, but I cry for this. Just wasting my time, but it feels my game. Spit around to this, and that's real. Running in circles, never leave me alone. Say I don't answer the messages or pick up my phone. Say we all need some time just to settle down. down, won't you come around? Cause I never can leave it alone. Tell me your stories, but don't leave out the lies. Cause I know I got some problems and I'm open to mine. So we all need some time just to settle down. Won't you come around? Cause I never can leave it alone.
So sincere, turn gray skies to blue. You won't ever change your ways, doing what you do.
Time when I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to call home. My only friend was the man in the moon, and even sometimes he would go away too. Then one night as I closed my eyes, I saw a shadow flying high. He came to me with the sweetest smile, told me he wanted to talk for a while. He said, Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. And ever since that day,
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.
ever since that day.
In these fast times, chasing lifelines for a lifetime. I've had my heart in the right place at the wrong time with the right girl in another world. Maybe we would be together still if you hate us and resent that. I don't give a shit, I'll let it spill. I don't give a damn, I'll keep it real. Cause by now I hope you know the drill. I would never lie, young forever, I ain't ever gonna die. Told me grow up and I went and showed them why I could make it. I showed them the power in youth, power in truth. The younger you stay, the closer you are to your roots. That's the reason I know I can teach you how to hit the skies, rise above them without getting high. But if it help a bit, take a little hit, take a little sip, put your mind at ease. Swear you got the keys, you can have your dreams. That's up to you, not what others believe. Jeez, I swear that's the part that took longest for me. Cause when I drop into a beat, I detach from the world, view it under my feet. Orbit around my dreams, and there I perceive my reality and what it means. Music is where I can breathe, the world in between. What I am, what I was, what I will be. It's the only place that I feel free. Hope you feel me.
I am a lost boy from Neverland, usually hanging out with Peter Pan. And when we're bored, we play in the woods, always on the run from Captain Hook. Run, run, lost boy, they say to me, away from all of reality. They say, Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Ever since that day.
You ain't never gotta be alone. I found company inside a song. Take it off your chest, throw it in a poem. If they try to flex, show them where you going. Hating on your past, kill them with your moment. When you get the chance, drop it like you stole it. She said, I don't wanna grow up, I gotta go keep my passions alive. Please say you've heard of a place I can fly where nothing's impossible. That's where I gotta go. They said the only way up was to get in line. I'm telling you that somebody lied. As someone who's been to the other side, blurring the lines between earth and mind. She's a lost girl in a lost world, but I know what she's trying to find. Some call it music, I call it Neverland, where we can take flight and don't have to ever land. You can stay young forever if you follow your heart. No 9 to 5, tear the soul apart. Keep it safe, you can keep your soul in art. We can live alive, we would rather die. If I don't live for this, I'm not alive. I don't deserve the breath, I don't deserve the steps, don't deserve the criticism or compliments. This is who I am, this is what I do. Outside of Neverland, I don't have a clue. They call us lost, but this is the place where I was found. Take my hand, Wendy, we're home
I
now.
am a lost boy from Neverland, usually hanging out with Peter Pan. And when we're bored, we play in the woods, always on the run from Captain Hook. Run, run, lost boy, they say to me, away from all of reality.
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.
Neverland is home to lost boys like me, and lost boys like me are free. Neverland is home to lost boys like me, and lost boys like me are free.
Nobody's perfect, I'll never try. No, but I promise I'm worth it if you just open up your eyes. I don't need a second
See, I never claimed to be, cause perfect is perception, perception is all that they can see. A vacancy replacing these space and place where my heart should be. Harping on these emotions, self-loathing, broken, what's wrong with me? A song to me is more than just some bullshit in words. It's the only time some nobody like me will be heard. I was that kid that would get picked last, never the one that would skip class, never the puff when the piff passed. So me and a rap is a mismatch, right? You stereotype, I've been feeling uptight, I've been wanting to fight, I've been up every night as I write and I write. I've been looking for light in the darkest of night, it's a bit of a bite. Dream, that's what they told me. If I listened to your dumb ass, I'd regret it as the old me. Said I was perfect. See, I never claimed to be, cause perfect is perception, perception is all that they can see. Amazes me, I found a group of people who found faith in me. Team wit until my death, I'll fucking take that to the grave with me. They can't see through bullshit, so they're left with only fake and weak. 10 writers to write timber, spill my soul and no one's playing me. It's plain to see, they hating me, they take what they can take from me. They'll never find no fake in me, they said my dream was make-believe. Well, thankfully, I use your hate to me to motivate. You see, I can be your everything, or every day your enemy, or every day your memory. You might just be a friend to me, you spend your time defending me, but me is all I tend to be.
My feelings for you, my feelings for you. I dream I know deep up my feelings for you. Watch them grow, perceive, devote. This is the seed, like the show. Watch them grow. I dream I know deep up my feelings for you. Watch them grow, perceive, devote. This is the seed, like the show. Watch them grow. For you, I adore you. I dream I know
only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Whoa, whoa. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. You only know you love her when you let her go. But you let her go. Look, see, I remember when I met you as a sophomore. Started out as friends, but I knew that we would want more. Hit your favorite restaurant with your favorite dress on. That's one of my favorite memories that I've kept on the road with me. I know it's crazy how things change so quick. Went from rock bottom to all this fame and shit. But look, I couldn't love you, but I wished I could. Cause I got hurt and closed you off and you understood. But look, yeah, that's just blood on the leaves. The champagne tastes worse when it wasn't for free. That's why these thirsty bitches didn't come here with me. Move along, girl, there's nothing to see. And what a blessing every second is. Missed calls and messages. I'm missing nights when you would call, just checking in. The girl I love, I ain't seen her in months. It's just the cost of being up in the front. And yet, we used to say this world was ours together. Yeah, the pain fades away, but the scars forever. And fate hurts, but remember the hope. Cause things change, but the memories don't. You only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Whoa, whoa. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. You only know you love her when you let her go. But you let her go. My bitches, my bitches. My bitches, my bitches. My bitches, my bitches. My bitches, my bitches. When I'm out here on the road, it's just me and my bitches. Shit is all I know.
Five
Camera
seconds
setting.
remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
It's that time of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
Radiant
Bluez Cup
team
coming
back.
round. Back into it we are. This is going to be the straight elimination phase, so the quarterfinals starting today. And we should have some very good Dota lined up. Anyway, today we have a panel sitting with us in the drafting phase. Obviously, my good co-cause here, 2J1P, is going to be sitting with us, and 2.0 is
Dire team back.
Hey guys.
Oh, yeah, I mean, from what we understand here,
Radiant
F5,
team
I'm
back.
going to say personally, they're going to be my favorites for this game. Already, they're just a strong team. We saw them in the group stages, Andre, and they really dominated what they were doing.
Yeah, they're doing really well in the group stages, but I mean, all these teams got to this stage. They deserve to be here, so I think it should make for some interesting Dota.
Yeah, let's hope so. Standard bans, F5 already banning out the off lane mainly. 2.0, how do you think? No Doom for you today, did you?
Well, it's incredibly strong
5
off-lane pick at the
seconds
moment, and what's really nice about the Doom is it's versatile. You can be running it as a position 4, position 3. Pretty much a lane dominator. I've been
Dire
watching a
team
bit of
back.
Pro Dota at the moment, and it seems to be a tier 1 ban potential. So if they have some sort of inkling as to what our fear are going to run, I believe that the Doom is a pretty solid ban. I don't, however, understand the techies ban on our fear.
No, I was just about to bring that up.
Radiant dire team.
I was just
I
about to
don't
say,
think that's-
what is up?
That's not worth a ban, is it?
No,
Ooh, first pick a Wisp. F5 going to be pulling some pretty cool stuff. This hero has been, they've made it easier to play, which I guess some players don't really agree with. You know, they like the old style with the control of the spirits. But he is actually easier to play, and he has been improved a hell of a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, Andre, do you think they could
Dire
be, this hero should become probably see it becoming a standard POS 5, POS 4 pick?
I don't think it can become a standard POS 5, POS 4 pick. You still need to fit it into your draft and what you want to do with your draft, I think. But I definitely agree with you that it's gotten some major improvements. I mean, the old Wisp was just a niche pick that would suit very specific drafts. But nowadays, it is, because it's much stronger, you can fit it into a much wider variety of drafts, I think.
But first mistake, obviously, F5 making, not banning out the Ancient Apparition before picking up the Wisp. That's already... You're going to get a frostbitten on the IO, and you can't heal, you can't overcharge, you lose so much HP.
remaining.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit of a
5
direct counter in
seconds
that way, but I
remaining.
don't think you need to overcommit in the
Dire
sense
team
of that you need to always ban out the AA if you want to pick a Wisp. I think you can still viably pick him up. You just got to be careful about how you play with it.
Wait, 2.0, you've probably played a few Beastmasters in your time. I don't know, how does this... IO Beastmasters have got to be a very strong lane here. What do IO Fear, do you think, want to be putting in that safe lane
10
to contest
seconds
this very strong off lane?
I think they should just abandon the lane
Radiant
entirely.
team ban.
Yeah. that's logical.
No, I'm kidding. It's an incredibly strong lane. Essentially, what you would need in this lane to even contest is gap close on the IO. The constant regen in the Beastmaster allows for the wild X stacks, and if you are picking up a melee core in the safe lane, it's going to make your life incredibly difficult. So either against this lane, they need to be running a Trilane, putting a lot of pressure on it, or they simply need to be able to close the gap, bring down the IO, and then follow up with a Beast.
Get down the Beast.
Dire team
Always a good pick.
Yeah, I think they can get away with a CK in the safe lane. IO Fear can get away with a CK in the safe lane. They can go like a CK and get maybe just a lockdown for the CK, because if you have the CK lockdown and the AA lockdown and maybe another pos 4,
there it is.
either slow or lockdown, or even the clockwork could be perfect. Then I think you can definitely contest the IO Beastmaster lane.
Yeah, I agree. I think a few big no-nos would be with the gap close. A PA does pretty poorly in the lane this side, and
10 seconds remaining.
I think a Morphling also does pretty badly. It's generally what's run against the
5
Morphling lane
seconds
if
remaining.
the Morphling is picked early.
Yeah.
And this lifestealer ban... What's...
Dire team pick.
I thought like IO Fear might even want to take the lifestealer.
Well, I think the lifestealer would have worked very well in the IO Fear draft. However, I believe they would have been worried about the 3-man relocates, which obviously you have the burst from Infest as well as whatever follow-up. Any hero pretty much dies without some hard save, which they haven't picked up in any of their support. So I feel like it's a pretty good ban if they're not going to pick it up themselves.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant
And
team
this...
pick.
Legion Commander. Wow, there's some cool heroes coming out already. There's a lot of stuff going on. Brew and Legion.
Yeah, I think they're gonna run the Legion as a pos 1 actually.
Could work.
Or they might even mid it if they want to play it against the Skywrath. Because I've seen a lot of Skywrath mids nowadays.
How does it do well? Does it?
It's
10
annoying to deal
remaining.
with, but if you gank a lot, so if that Clockwork just roams a lot, he's gonna have a really bad time.
5
The Skywrath.
seconds remaining.
I think the mistake that IO Fear are making here is two of their cores now are melee versus Skywrath, as well as a lane that does very well versus melee. So I'm not sure how they're going to do it. What is nice, they have versatility with the Legion and the Panda, can be rotated into core lanes. Let's see how they play it out. But I must say the all melee lineup aside from there is I wouldn't call it the smartest
Dire
move.
team ban.
So to see a pick of it.
Yeah, I think also like putting onto that, even having the Clockwork in a like a melee centric lineup like that kind of makes it very awkward for the cogs to go off. You kind of have to be really smart with your cogs, otherwise you're gonna really make it difficult for your other 2 cores, for your other 2 melee cores to actually partake in the fight. So it's something very tricky that you have to think of the whole time.
Already, it seems to be quite a strong pushing lineup from F5, and I don't really see any way on IO Fear. I might be missing it to slow down. Their map space looks like it's going to be very limited very quickly at this rate.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, I think if they want to just contest the push, they just have to be very aggressive with their Brewmaster and Clockwork, because the Legion Commander and the AA, even when he gets ulti, can very easily clear lanes. Even the Clockwork with Rocket Flare can help clear the lanes. So they've got way to clear the lanes, but they need to jump on top of these heroes. They can't wait for the lanes to push into them. They've got to jump on them while they're busy pushing up. But I think at the moment it does look pretty grim. They're going to struggle to deal with the push, as you say, and they're going to struggle against the Beastmaster. They're going to struggle against getting past the Beastmaster to get to the Luna. So, but and even getting to the Skyrath because he's so quick, they're going to struggle to jump on these Euros. So they're going to have to combat that by just playing pretty aggressively on their Brewmaster and
Dire
clock.
team pick.
We were talking about this just before. Nevermore. This F5 lineup is scaring me. I don't see how they IOFIA contest this.
I find that quite interesting. Clockwork is good versus an SF, but maybe what they were thinking is it doesn't
10 seconds remaining.
Essentially a ban pick, ensuring that IOFIA don't get the SF.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm actually. Any predictions on what you guys think IOFIA are going to pick up now? I would imagine a Quap or even a Lina would predict.
I think they need the Quap most. I think they just need the Quap here. That's going to allow them to put a lot of pressure on the Seraphine, which means that the Io and the Skyrath might need to rotate a lot more than they want to, leaving the Beastmaster and Luna alone in lanes, and those two heroes aren't too great alone in lanes. So if they play it that way, if they just put a lot of pressure on the Shadow Fiend from the early game and they just force these other two supports, the F5 supports, to rotate in a lot, then they might actually be able to come out on top in the laning phase, because the Brewmaster is going to stomp the Luna in the lane, the Legion Commander is going to stomp the Beastmaster in lane, I think. I'm
going to disagree with you over there. But that's okay. I feel like I don't see how they win their lanes here for IOFIA. The Magic Burst might be a bit too much for the Brewmaster, but I mean, I'm going to go with F5 Gaming on this one.
F5, and Andre?
I don't know. I think IOFIA might take the early game. Like, the sniper pick is not great. It's a little bit too passive, and now they kind of need them to fight into IOFIA, and they don't have the best lineup for that, and they're not playing against the best lineup for that, because F5 are happy to fight into IOFIA.
But now, coming into that early game, we're saying, so you're favouring IOFIA's laning stage, and we were just talking about this before the cast. What's dividing the good teams? You can see the good teams with experience is how they transition from the laning stage into the mid game. 2.0, you've got some thoughts on that?
Well, I think
how can IOFIA transition?
Well, I think it's imperative, first of all, to win your lanes. So the draft is incredibly important. But what a lot of teams are doing is they're learning to draft correctly. But the transition from the laning phase into the mid game, essentially, where now there's no longer lanes, and that synergy that you need to use all of your team's abilities to then win the mid game is something that requires a lot of communication. To be honest with you, I feel like there's a little bit too much AoE, too much pickle from the side of F5, so it's going to require some serious outplaying as well as some serious communication, especially from the side of IOFIA. Those Panda ultis are going to be critical, and that's what they're going to have to work off of, in my opinion.
Well, thank you, 2.0. That's all the time we have. The game has begun. Looks like from the Radiant side. Yeah, thanks for having us, and we'll probably check you for the next one.
All right, magic. Cheers.
Cool. Cheers. Wait, tips immediately come out.
They could win the lane, and I would like to see them do that, because I would like to see them recognize where their strengths are in the laning phase, because obviously if they just let the lanes be, I don't think they can win the lanes. If they just go with this tri-lane top and leave the Panda alone bot, they're not going to win the laning phase. They need to force these supports out of the lanes, because the supports are basically the only reason why these lanes are strong. The IO with the Beastmasters makes that lane almost impossible to deal with. So you can keep on throwing a tri-lane at it, but it's going to be able to handle the tri-lane. Where if you take your Clockwork and you go gank mid quite a lot and you force that IO out of the lane, all of a sudden you have a Legion and a Ancient Apparition against the Beastmaster by himself. Then the Beastmaster is going to start to struggle with that chilling touch on the Legion Commander and the Ancient Apparition. I don't think the Beastmaster will be able to deal with both those heroes by himself.
But as a general call, you could say IOFIA or F5.
As a general, I like the rest of their draft as well. So I think, as a general call, if they can hold out any funny business from IOFIA in the early game, they should be able to take it through to the mid game and maybe win the game.
Okay, well there we go. So pretty much both Andre and 2.0 going with F5 is going to be the winners here. Good. You have to like know your undercard is going to TP on the face. Actually going to be killed. Never mind. First play going to be drawn by F5 as they get the Brewmaster in the bottom lane.
It's such a stupid fast hero.
Looks like Moikai is going to go for 2-man Cox. Might have killed himself, I don't know. There's a nice overwhelming odds coming down, but it's not going to be enough. Clockwork going to be killed. IO in return. Actually, worth that for the Dire side. They got a lot more gold from the IO than the enemy team got from the clock.
Yeah, that's true, but I mean, now you see this top lane pushing in, and now they're just going to get all that XP back that they just lost. So, I mean, in that space, you might have actually wanted to send one of your supports to go pull, just to deny some XP, because now they've just got all this free XP again after that.
Brew getting absolutely nothing out of this lane.
Yeah, he's struggling.
That's not good at all. There is an invis in the bottom power-up rune. Zeus now.
Might die again.
Souls, 12 souls.
But he's doing fine. He's doing fine now. If he can keep on holding out just a little bit, he should do fine against this Skyreth.
Mid lane, though, Sniper not having a good time at all. He was 2 levels behind NiBBLE just now.
Yeah.
So he's getting his level 3, but Shadow Fiend really racking up those souls, that Necromastery damage. Starts to make a huge difference, and you said they need to put pressure on the Shadow Fiend, and it hasn't happened. They've put their forces in this aggressive, I don't even know if it's an aggressive tri-lane in the top bottom lane though. Brewmaster going to be brought down once again. He can't do anything in that lane. But back to top, so they've made this aggressive tri-lane. Is it aggressive? I mean, they're not really doing much.
It's not really aggressive. It's just this normal classic tri-lane trying to protect the Legion Commander. And I think at the moment...
There they go, top lane. Moikai, they're going to try and get the cold feet proc, but Chax is running away. He's got the extra movement speed from the tether. And so that cold feet proc will not get off. And they're just going to... IO doing a great job here. He's got the bottle quite early. So probably feeling pretty confident. And Beastmaster, I mean, you said Legion should be winning this lane?
No, I said that they need to get this IO out of the lane, which is not going to happen if they keep that tri-lane going there. So that's why you see the clock running to the mid lane now. Maybe he's going to try and put some pressure on. I would have liked to see this a bit earlier, because Sniper has technically already lost this lane. So it's going to be difficult now to put enough pressure on this Shadow Fiend to make support start rotating in, which is what you need to do.
Dropping low. Will to go for the tree. Retethers onto Chax, who's trying to make an aggressive move onto Soti 12. They're going to get the kill, they're going to die for this, and there it is. Chax getting the last auto attack. Bringing down the AA. Shock Infinity actually had to be careful there. Another whirling axes, and he might have got the double kill. Hey, he's taking a lot of damage. Wait. I think you're really relying on procs, dude, to help you out. That worries me. Moikai, he's just sort of sitting mid. He can't go. The wave's pushing.
Yeah.
SF has a ward there as well, so
yeah,
he's
fully aware of what's going on. Yeah.
At least Brews, he's getting a few levels now, and in this level, you just max your Drunken Haze. Not too sure. Actually, never mind. Alucard being chased by
Bassy. He should turn and fight this. He should turn and fight this.
Can't go for it. He's going to get another Lucent Beam to the face and one more auto attack. Bring down the Brew for the 3rd time this game. Not great at all. 5-1 in favor of F5 right now, and they're not showing any signs of stopping. Mid lane, once again, Clock trying to rotate, but there's just a ward there, so you know, not going to get anything done. This Chax going to try and make the best move into Shock Infinity here. He's dropping really low, and IO might be in trouble too. They're going to bring down the Beastmaster and the IO. IO Fear getting himself a double kill in this top lane. So sort of that's good for them.
Yeah, that's really good for them. And I mean, that's the power of this Ancient Apparition and Legion Commander combo. They are pretty strong. If you can get a couple of procs off with that Chilling Touch on you as the Legion Commander, you do a lot of burst damage. So he's coming now.
Coming in now, but level 4 Sniper against the Shadow Fiend. He's got a lot of soul damage. Actually, Psycho Damage going to try and fight on the cogs. He's going to feed the double, yeah. Shrapnel not too strong, and now he's going to farm up cogs as well. Well played, Psycho Damage. Bassy getting another kill on this Brewmaster in the bottom lane. Yeah, this Skyroth, I don't know what they're going to do here. It looks like they've lost 3 lanes.
They've lost 2 lanes. I don't think they've lost the top lane.
That's pretty close on last hits.
They're doing okay in the top lane. Once this Legion gets duel down and gets at least 1 duel off, maybe on like the Wisp, then he can secure the lane. Then the AA can also leave to start helping the other lanes. I think they should have rotated the AA and the clock to the bot lane a lot earlier. Just get a surprise move on this Luna, get your Brewmaster back on track, because your snipe, there's no use for you to try and get the mid gank, because you're not going to gank that Shadow Fiend right now. He's so far ahead of the sniper that it's just basically useless to try and gank him.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Not scared.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Well, Drunken Brawler, yeah, he's level 7. He's
he doesn't
really
need
far
to
ahead.
be afraid of missing shots.
And this Luna and this SF, top of the net worth, for sure right now. That's going to transition to kills. Just going to wait for the Shadow Blade on FICO damage. Top lane, checks, make another aggressive move. They're going to get a cold feet proc. No, not the proc, sorry. Just going to cast it onto the Beastmaster, and he runs off that extra movement speed. They are moving very quickly, 384 movement, stealing XP.
Yeah, his positioning is a little bit off though, and his timing's on.
IO and shrines, dude. It's great to have one of those around. lots of regen, very
Dire's
quickly.
middle tower is under attack.
This clock is just doing nothing. He's just watching this Brewmaster die to the Luna.
Yeah, and he can't do any of that.
He's even in vision. I don't know what he's doing. I honestly think his positioning is really off right now.
There we go. Shockfinity. They're going to make the move top. Skywrath has made the rotation as well. Check's going forward now. They're going to get the Spirit Souls more. And the damage is enough to bring down Legion. Clock, a bit of a late rotation as well. Might just feed the kill there. They're going forward, whirling axes with an Arcane Bolt, doing a lot of damage. And Soti, though, able to just keep harassing Chris, force him back.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Well, mid tower down, Shadow Fiend,
also down now.
He's probably, yeah, he's dead. Hey, he's not even going to Shadow Raise, does he need to?
No, I don't think he needs to.
He could finish it off with the last one, you know, be classy.
He could just do a W right now, but I think he's just going to auto attack him dead to save his mana.
Yeah. 75 last hits and 37 denies.
Yeah, no, this
9 minutes
was stopped.
No, this was...
He's double his level. He's double his level.
That's scary. But what would you have picked as your instead of the sniper here?
The Queen of Pain, as we discussed. I think you need to put pressure. You need to put pressure on that. Like I said, the only way you win the laning phase, which we saw them lose now, is by putting enough pressure on the Shadow Fiend to get the supports out of lane. Because the Luna's not a great hero by herself. And the Beastmaster is okay, but he's not going to be good against an AA and a Legion Commander all by himself. So you needed like a Queen of Pain and then the clock to come in very early to put a lot of pressure on the Shadow Fiend. What at the very least they're gonna rotate in the Skywrath. Then you hang back a little bit. That buys enough time for your Brewmaster to compete with this Luna, and then you can send the clock back top. Maybe if they don't want to bring the Wisp back, you can send the clock top. By that time your Brewmaster has already won the lane. Your mid is winning the lane because you're putting a lot of pressure on the Shadow Fiend. Then you basically almost losing only one lane. Then you bring your clock into the top lane, and now you can win your third lane. So you could try something like that. They should have seen that they're not just gonna face up against these guys in lanes if they just keep classic lanes.
Well, Andre, we have a choice of which kill to watch: either Brewmaster dying or Sniper dying.
I think Brewmaster dies in any case.
Yeah, Sniper
I think Sniper also dies in any case, so it doesn't really matter.
Maybe we should just look at Roshan, dude. He's
No, here we go.
Here we go, okay. I'm gonna watch the Shadow Fiend. I want to see how he plays. Right click or Shadow Raise.
I think the Shadow Fiend's gonna get the kill first in any case. So after you watch the Shadow Fiend, just quickly go back to bot.
Gonna follow the action well today, boys and girls. Whole bunch of games lined up. All the quarterfinals. Is it all today?
Yeah, all the quarterfinals are today, and then the semis and the finals are tomorrow. Okay. So the first 2 games tomorrow are semi-finals, and then the last game is the finals.
Should be
Or
good.
the last match. Let's call it the matches.
Stick around for you guys on the stream who's watching through NiBBLE TV on YouTube. Welcome, and I hope you're enjoying yourselves. You guys, and if you're watching in game, yeah, also thanks for giving us a watch. If you're keen to go check out the stream, go for it. We've got a lot of content, and you can all chat to each other. I know the game is like the champion's gonna die. Okay, dead. I'm going bottom, and yeah. Gonna turn around, get the Drunken Haze, but the Lucent Beam, yeah, on the head. And this tower probably soon to follow. Luna getting very close to that Mask of Madness. Actually gonna go for. Looks like she's trying to decide what she needs. She can go Dragon Lance first this game. I suppose she's had such a good laning phase.
Yeah, she can definitely go Dragon Lance and just get this tower down, and then by that time you have the Morbid Mask at least. You can make a quick run through the bush. That boosts your farming by so much. And then you start grouping up as this F5 team, and you just start mowing down towers.
Exactly what we're hoping to do, Brewmaster. Sorry, not Brewmaster, Beastmaster, level 6.
Yeah, I've got Beastmaster 6 now. If Beastmaster can get something like early drums down or something like that, you can finish this game within the next 5 to 10 minutes.
It looks like I think he's going for the Solar Crest. So
yeah, looks like
it happened, and F5 just sort of sitting in their jungle. Legion force out of lane. They do have duel. Going for Blade Mail first on this Legion. Alucard now, a lot of trouble. Wilco trying to come to the Lucent Beam once again is enough to get the kill. Bassi not down, going to take 2 pushbacks from the cogs. Wow, is he maxing rocket? That was a lot of rocket damage. Yeah, it's 2 points in rocket flare.
Yeah, well, I think he realized that he's playing from the back foot right now. You don't want battery assault damage if you're playing from the back foot. You'd rather take the rocket flare damage. Rather maybe.
Especially with the brew that's second lowest net. Your brew and the clock are bottom of the network. Right?
Yeah.
Your pos 5 is higher than you.
We serve the same purpose.
And NiBBLE probably just gonna farm up his Silver's Edge. He has it. Sorry, his Shadowblade. He has it now on the way. We're gonna see an early move from him. They are grouping up. Perhaps the smoke. We're going to see a bit of a smoke. No. No smoking.
Looks like there might be a rotation here on the bot lane. On this Luna. But they do have the ward dead spot.
And he's looking up the high ground into He's just going to die. He's just going to die.
Like years in the rain.
There's no division as well game from F5. It's very defensive. If you want to make rotations like that, you need a ward somewhere here, you know, over this big camp, looking in the lane size. From Iofia, yes, sorry. Yeah, you need a ward there. Actually, Luna might die. Pops the one charge. Is going to survive. Well played by Bassi. That was all calculated. 100% calculated. That's tier 2 mid.
Tier 2 mid going down. See, now, they can really just start mowing down towers. This Shadow Queen.
There we go. Looks like they found a Aztec. Shrine? Is he gonna pop the shrine? No, he's not. Just gonna die. But there's a little space for Iofia to come in right now. Alucard going straight into Skyroth Mage as Io gets the tether away. Well played by him. The bonus piece he might have been his haste there. And he needs to grab it quickly, but he's gonna get jeweled up, and they do get their first jewel damage onto Legion Commander. The rest of A5 not quick enough to get there. Surprised they didn't. I don't think they really mind, to be honest. You can kill our supports, we're just going to push your waves and your lanes.
Exactly.
Get farmed. I mean, Chak's making bold moves here. He's just farming, farming the Dire jungle. Not a fear in the world. No pun intended. Top tower down. Micro damage.
Looks like they want to make a play on the bot lane.
Yeah, bottom. Bassi though, he does have the Eclipse. There's only level 1. But we've seen Brew's not even 6 yet, so he could be very dead. And the silence from Skyroth. Rotation coming in. Io. Gonna tether up the Luna. But the TP's out straight away from Alucard. Yeah. We know engagement top. Beastmaster, no, I don't think they catch him. There's no way. No blink on Brew. Not even phase boots on Brew.
Radiant's middle
tower. I want to use this shrine top.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So I'm bottom tier 1, gonna fall now. And this is where F5's lineup starts getting really scary.
Yeah, they just
not that it wasn't scary, it's more scary now.
Mowing down towers.
Yeah. They're going for it.
Dire's bottom tower is under
gonna
attack.
find Zoist, he's very dead again. So I think 13 minutes.
Yeah, it's looking very, very grim for Iofia at this stage.
Yeah, perhaps need to rethink the strategy for the second game. As Fargo damage she wants, and 6, sorry, Fargo damage is going over the Requiem onto Legion, but she just moves away in the last second. Not a lot, she does get the press the attack on herself, trying to purge. They do want to make the turnaround here. Cold Feet gonna proc, but there's no follow-up, no blink on Legion as of yet. There's no way for them. I'm surprised. You think the blade mail first was a good choice? It probably is.
It's pretty good if you're playing from behind. So you're not going to be jumping into them that much in any case. You're going to be engaged onto. So the blade mail's fine. You don't need a blink. They're going to come to you basically if you're behind. So I think it's fine as a first item on the Legion.
And this tier 2 just getting wrecked.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just push high ground, yeah.
Ooh, but Fargo damage, he's really making a lot of space up top. He hasn't left, and there's 3 of them there. Gonna talk out, anti-clockwork, when they come in, they do find the Splinter Blast. They need to get there's not enough mana for cogs though. That could be a problem. Io, there's the TP in coming from Io, gonna find the tether. They put the sentry down, but Fargo damage so quick with that extra movement speed. Shockfinity, he wants the kill, he has the jewel, but he's got nowhere to get on them. There's not enough slows, and they're just going to TP out actually. Go back into base. Luna made the rotation. She's got herself the Eclipse level 2 now. And I think she can comfortably hold this lane by herself, most likely.
Yeah, she should be able to.
The Bluez got, he does have Primal Split now.
Jackpot!
What a deep move here. They're going to probably find snipers. He's got no idea what's coming. There's the Raw straight away, followed by the, what is that called? Mystic Flare. Sorry, I don't see a lot of Skyroth games, so I'm not too sure what his spells are. He's not a hero I already play either. And we're going to get the Primal Split off just in time, but Alucard, you can't fight that, but you got to just run.
Yeah, you got to run.
Yeah, he's struggling a bit with the micro here. He's struggling a bit with the micro. He's going to try to get the kill onto Io. Hey, they're taking these spirits are taking a lot of damage. He's probably going to be killed. Yeah, well played by 3. Just kiting out that Bruise Master. And there is still a Requiem of Souls on Shadow Fiend Legion now, yeah, with Clockwork. They do have hook shot. Shockfinity going to go in. He's going to get the blade mail up, taking a lot of damage. Dust coming out right now. Michael damage. He looks like he might actually die. That's not going to be enough. AA Blast coming in too. It does connect into Io. And that's the first sort of good thing that's happened for Io here this game. They did lose Legion.
That's quite a lot of gold for them. If they did lose the Legion there,
no, they're losing tier 2 top though as well.
They all lose tier 2 top. That's also the danger playing against heroes like Luna and Shadow Fiend that is farmed, and even the Beastmaster. They take your tower so quickly. Like if you want to make little plays like that onto 2 heroes only, the rest of your lanes aren't going to be pushed.
Bassi just being forced back top. How do you skill your AA? I've had this discussion before. I mean, I don't think maxing Cold Feet is...
I generally max Chilling Touch.
Yeah,
but
well.
I do sometimes go like 2-1-2, like I think he started, and then I max Chilling Touch after that. But sometimes,
I think I like 1 point from the Cold Feet.
Again, you've got to judge where you're playing from. Are you playing from a comfortable position where you're ahead, then the Chilling Touch and maybe even another level in Ice Vortex is worth it. If you're playing from behind, maybe the Cold Feet is fine because that forces them to not be able to engage on you that much.
Smoke from Io here. They do not have vision up this high ground though, so gotta be pretty careful. Oh, they do. Well, it's sort of high ground vision up here. Oh, nice. I like this ward spot as well. But like, there's no blinks, there's nothing, there's no catch. They can't. They got the hook shots. You're needing blink on Leon. Legion gonna go Shadow Blade. Here we go. Bessie. But once again, as we said, nowhere to get on them. They need Clockwork to come in, but it looks like Viper damage. He's gonna come in, he's gonna get the kill. The Legion in the back lines. AA Blast is quite huge. It does connect to 2. Already at 5. Coming out of this fight. Oh, very comfortably. Yeah, great plays by 3 at the moment. He's really doing a lot of work on this Io.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna heal up his entire team now. This should be the high ground push.
It's gonna come in. There's no way to defend this. Rude just got 30 speeds.
Beastmaster also does have the Solar Crest now, so it makes it very, very difficult to jump on a hero. Like the moment you see the clock hook shot onto your hero, as the Beastmaster, you just put the Solar Crest on him, and that hero becomes almost impossible to kill this early in the game.
And if I'm just gonna play it safe, back themselves away. Go straight into Roche. As you said, the solo crest gonna help.
Roche is down. They should be able to get this Roche right now.
Pretty quickly. They're gonna be scouted out, but I don't think they... are they scared? Is this something you fear?
You have to be pretty scared. Remember, they have the AA.
Oh, okay, they're just gonna dodge it.
And the clock, if that clock went in right there and he got like all 5 of them with a hook shot and followed by an AA blast, that could
and a nice overwhelming odds.
That could still be very, very disastrous for them. So they have to still be very mindful of that.
So they're gonna stop going for Roche, Luna just getting that Hurricane Pike.
Yeah, I think what they need to do first is just starve them out. So get into a position where you control the entire map, take both shrines. They can't TP out of base anymore. They're very scared to step out of base, and then you go take the Roche. You don't even need to get a pick off. You just make them so scared to get out of base that they're not going to contest you in any way.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
The cavalry has arrived.
Beastmaster might be in a little bit of trouble if he keeps on doing this in the top lane.
I mean, should F5 be slowing down this push they've been doing? I'm pretty sure they could just go up high ground. They're careful.
Yeah, but they like I said, they have the potential to lose fights very, very easily. So they want, I think they just want some sort of guarantee that they can win fights. So they want the Roche in the bag, or they want just a very good positioning. So from their perspective, it's the smart thing to do, because the comeback gold would be huge right now. If they lose a 5-0 team fight right now, then IOFIA is right back in this. And then you're against a sniper and a Legion getting dual damage, which is not the position you want to put yourself in the late game.
Trend 197 last hits. The 20 minutes fight sounds like coming up mid. I heard a primal split because it's going to be used if they do get themselves a Beastmaster. Checks now, he's going to be tended up by the Iron Will. They play beautifully done by 3. They probably will bring him back in, but he's kept the Beastmaster alive. Shocky trying to get in there for the duel, but he can't do it. He's silenced. Does get the kill though. Onto the back. He's dropped FICO damage in the back now. He's really good. He pops out Alucard. Sorry, Alucard, not Alucard. They're going to get ready. There we go. Beastmaster coming back in. Checks getting the roll onto Legion Commander. Stop Infinity. Going to get some press the attack. But just it's looking incredibly good. They will bring down the Skyrock Mage as well, but the Shadow Fiend is way too strong. He's hitting way too hard.
Yeah, this Shadow Fiend is hitting very hard, and he's got all these items that he's need. He's got the Hurricane Pike for in case he gets jumped on. He's got the Shadow Blade for the engage. He's really sitting pretty at this stage, and they should be able to get this Rax down now.
Are under attack.
See the tether, give him the overcharge. This thing is just gonna pump it up. Yep, there goes mid-Rex.
Dire's middle barracks is falling.
AA blast. Actually pretty good. Gonna find 2. 3 needs to be careful here. Yeah. Oh, this is a dual damage, but they got the Heaven's Halberd now for Legion.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So there's still this other Shadow Blade. And Brewmaster actually not going Blink, he's getting a Vlad's first. Is that wise?
Dire's top
Again, I think
is under attack.
This, you've got to look at it from their perspective, that they're very afraid right now. They're not going to be making Blink plays right now in any case. So why get a Blink if you're not going to be making Blink plays? You've got the clock to get the lucky pick off here and there, where if they step out of line, but you don't need Blinks to try and bait them the whole time to step out of line. At the moment, you just want to play it safe. You just want to keep your base alive. And you want to buff up your team as much as possible. So I think the Vlad's play is also, it's fine. It works in their current position.
Sort of also just farming up. I feel very much on the defensive sniper. They're slowly getting up some items. Really,
if they can hold this off. Well, F5 is going for the Roche right now, and this should be uncontested. But if they can hold this off for a little while longer, then the IOFIA might be able to start clawing their way back, but they need to hold off the next 2 pushes. If they can do that, they might be able to claw themselves back. But it's going to be really difficult now with Aegis on the Luna. Luna's just going to run in with Eclipse on and force out a big team fight.
You think F5 could literally just go through mid and try end?
They could if they wanted to, definitely, especially with the Luna. It makes it very, very possible to do something like that. Especially now with the Aegis on the Luna being so quick, and with that Eclipse can literally run in, force a big team fight, kill 4 of them maybe, and then end the game right there.
5 moving top.
Radiant's
Let's try to
bottom
find the
tower
opening they
is
need
under
to
attack.
listen to game 2, where it is heading at the moment.
Let's see if RFA can hold off this team fight.
Over the X5, but it's going to be go and hit the tower. Legion coming in, finally got the blinker, set up the shadow blade, but the tether from Ivy to keep him alive. They're going to go for that is only ages down. That's actually pretty good though. Primal split coming out, they're still sniped in the back. F5 on the retreat immediately. Right they're going to try disengage, but hook shot from Clockwork going to slow them down as he tries to buy the space. The roar coming on the sniper, he can't get the damage out while he's stunned. As they're going to turn this around. F5, Fear now in the chase right back as it's them against the wall. They bring down Legion Commander. And Barcy's there, instant buyback coming from Clockwork. Depends F5. Yeah, they want to back. What do they want to do? They're going to respect the buyback and yeah, just
might respect the buyback, yeah. I think IFV has stepped out of line a little bit there. The moment that F5 started backing, they should have just disengaged. Their ultis were down, they were running low on mana, and they were out of position at that stage. They should have backed out. F5, look, they just regrouped, they're going to come back in, and now it's going to become really difficult.
They're connected to Barcy, actually needs to be very careful. No vision for an assassinate. FICO damage though, doesn't really give a damn. I'm going to just, I reckon, pike himself back. But F5 looking really low on the HP side, so Legion's also back up. Only 24 dual damage. Do you think F5 are feeling a bit of pressure here? As you said, there is a potential for IOFear to be holding that high ground indefinitely.
Yeah, I mean, look, AF Blast is basically off cooldown again. That cooldown is really short.
Ooh, Shockfinity wasn't quick enough on the duel as FICO damage gets off the Shadow Blade. Shrapnel, that lovely spell.
That's one thing that IOFear have working for them.
Oh goodness!
Is their cooldowns are really short. So you've got the hook shot, which is pretty short cooldown. Assassinate is a short cooldown. Duel is not that short, but it's still a fairly short cooldown. I think their longest cooldown is the primal split, and then the AO cooldown's also really short. So that's the one thing that's hook shot
70 seconds.
Short. It's not bad. It's really not bad. On level 2 it's much better. If you can get it at level 12 now, then it's a short cooldown, shortish cooldown, and if you've got your Ags obviously, then it's a really short cooldown. But that's the one thing that they've got going for them, that they are ready to fight a team fight. Basically, if you think about it, every second wave that pushes in, all their cooldowns are ready. So if they can be mindful of that, if you can add that...
Oh, they're going to find Bfort. He was a bit out of position, going to be drilled up, and they will get the kill. Took a while though, hook shot, not going to find its target. So F5 back into their side.
If can be mindful of their cooldown situation, then all that you have to do is you have to burst down every second wave, because you can't defend half of the time. So that the half of the time that you can't defend, you just burst down the wave with your AoE spells. You make sure that they can't push in on that wave. The next wave, all your cooldowns are ready again.
So what's this that Legion is queued up? I'm not sure 100% certain no FICO damage.
Legion,
off sniper again. What is that?
Looks like it might be the Maelstrom. Is it not?
Maelstrom is Javelin and Mithril Hammer.
Yeah, sorry, that is there.
Nice Mystic Flare coming out, almost killing off AA. You want to get the turn with the cold feet from keeping Skyrock Mage in place. Barcy though, he does find it with the Lucid Beam. Primal still committed by Dreammaster. He's chasing quite deep with Legion, but they don't have any detection for Shadow Fiend. Barcy in the middle of it all, he's going to get stuck up. He's using an alpha, he's only two. Ritual Assault coming out, it's huge! Gets the kill at the two, they're going to bring down Clockwork as well. And BKB just used by Barcy. Alicon now turns around, gets the Drunken Haze.
It will not happen again.
Stop the right click damage. These buybacks, oh my goodness, they're just coming in and out and in and out.
Yeah, but it's costing them. They're whittling down right now. And F5 should notice this. All these buybacks are causing them to fall further and further behind. So F5 can start being a little bit more aggressive right now. If they can force out just this stalemate position that they have now.
He's got a full Mystic Flare, gonna find it on the Brewmaster, and Alicon has got no time to do anything, just gonna be killed. Checks at the same time, helping push their Raw on the back line. They do find Legion, who's probably just buying some space. Shots ready to go, 40 doesn't get the doing, gonna be okay, punked and brought down. That's a dieback from the Legion commander.
Yeah, I think the game's over.
I think that's it, yeah, it's probably gonna be it. Good game.
Yeah,
cool.
there's the good game call.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
57k net worth lead.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Best of threes in
No, I think that best of threes.
Best of threes. Well, we'll see you for the next game. Thanks for coming up to join us, Albino. Got some good company.
Yeah, see you guys in the next game.
Yeah.
A strike called Big Proc. Yoda blinking forward now. Sorry, time lapse forward. Gonna get Surge up, taking a lot of damage over time damage from the back line. The 626 taking the big data comp on the boat as well, coming in. Doesn't connect, but it's not needed because the Kontinuum on the team is
okay. All things considered, the tri lane he's played against, but like you said, the support's not offering any support here in the bottom lane. And now TH is trying to dive again, but now they make the formation. They get the move onto Crystal Maiden under the tower. Sorry, onto Templar Assassin, I mean. But does she get a refraction off? No, but she's gonna run it off. She'll be fine. Crystal Maiden trying to chase, but in the back line, here comes in the Witch Doctor trying to bring down Storm. But the repel is there, but it's not enough. He's gonna go down as well. Fourth time this game, they get a return kill onto the Witch Doctor. But looks like TA, she wants to re-engage. She comes in with refraction, doing the DP to the Crystal Maiden. Is it enough? Oh, the last hit.
Okay, open wounds and Enrage already used. Rage, sorry, not Enrage, that's Ursa's ability. From DT, gonna bring them back right now. Ravage but late as the Dream Tunnel connects. He's gonna snap as well as they bring back the RP with the skewer. The Artsy, he's gonna try and fight this right now. Buybacks from Lifestealer and Bane. Evolution looking to just take objectives. Will they disengage? They're gonna sleep up Void right now. Pack in the middle of a lot of trouble. He's got a lot of escape though, gonna get up. And he's still available on Void right now. Lucy is going for the right, it's tough.
Monster kill of this Invoker right now.
Is under attack.
I think the best play right now for Ramsey is to just get all the tier 2s out, go Roche, and immediately push high ground. He's so far ahead right now that that really can't afford to do risky plays like that.
2D, he's actually making them work for this one. The Ice Block is coming top and might have up to 2 brings down the quad. If 2D's still alive, he's going to get the kill on the Rain Skin. Biceps, the last one left. He's also already low with the Frost Blast. Great stuff from F2D.
But girl, trust me, this is how it's gotta be. When I close my eyes, you're the one that I see. Cause you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Whoa, whoa. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hit the road when you're missing home. You only know you love her when you let her go. But you let her go.
Baby girl, you're so damn fine, though. Wanna know if I can hit it from behind, though. I'm sipping on you like some fine wine, though. When it's over, I press rewind, though. Talking bands, I got it. Benjamins in my pocket. I traded my truth for some robbers, and he's playing Batman, but he's gonna rob him. Yeah, I got the Glock in my robbery. 17 shots, no 38. Yeah, I got the Glock in my robbery. 17 shots, no 30. Yeah, she's fine. Wondering will she be mine? Walk past, I press rewind. See that ass one more time. And I got this soda. Women, boys, they know it. Fast money don't slow. No one can control. And I got this soda. Women, boys, they know it. Fast money don't slow. No one can control. chances with no. Let me show you how it goes. Love's the word, spins the vibe. Lover's the girl, freak what you are. I like the way you work it. No diggity. I'm about to bag it up. I like the way you work it. No diggity. I'm about to bag it up. I like the way you work it. No, I'm about to bag it up. I like the way you work it. And I got this soda. Remy boys that know. Fast money don't show. No one can control. No, yeah. And I got this soda. Remy boys that know. Fast money don't show. No, they can't control. No. No diggity, darling. I like the way you work it. No diggity, darling. I'm about to bang 1738. No diggity, darling. I like the way you work it. I'm about to bag it up. No diggity, darling. I'm about to bag it up. No diggity, darling. I like the way you work it. 1738. No diggity, darling. I'm about to bag it up.
'Cause yeah, they said it, but I said it first. So in a sense, I gave these niggas birth. That's why my fans in my show screaming, take me to church. No suit and tie, but baby, I go to work. Don't do it for the money, but that's one of the perks. If y'all got the shovel, then I got the dirt. 'Cause burying rappers what I mean when I say take them to church. Oh man, I'm back with more bars. Yo, girlfriend on my scorecard. Opportunity knocks well. Someone please tell me where the doors are before I trample it, nigga. Somebody better answer this, nigga. If you ain't never heard of me, I'm about to show you what the motherfucking anthem is, nigga. Diamonds and treasure, that don't bring me no pleasure. Every day I just wake up saying I could do better. Trying to find me a girl to put her hands in the holes of my sweater. And truth be told, I just pray that this moment lasts me forever. I said hear my verse. 'Cause yeah, they said it, but I said it first. So in a sense, I gave these niggas birth. That's why my fans in my show screaming, take me to church. No suit and tie, but baby, I go to work. Don't do it for the money, but that's one of the perks. If y'all got the shovel, then I got the dirt. 'Cause burying rappers what I mean when I say take them to church. And I'm all influential, 'cause I'm somewhat anti-governmental. When I feel like all I need is God, I don't really give a fuck if I offend you. I don't really think you know what I've been through, but it's something I'd rather not get into. 'Cause I can't put my life inside a pencil when it's something I'd rather not pretend to be able to do. When I ate full of shrooms, couldn't paint when I paint. When the bass goes boom and the lights go low, when they call it magic, like I'm rocking a cape in the room. Mental patient, escape from the room. Now I'm out the basement, headed straight for the moon. And it might be some black shit, but I feel like I'm radioactive. Hear my verse. 'Cause yeah, they said it, but I said it first. So in a sense, I gave these niggas birth. That's why my fans in my show screaming, take me to church.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Here we are back to game 2 of the first quarterfinal of the Bluez Cup this weekend. Bit of a strong performance from F5 Gaming in that first one, and well, let's introduce the panelists. You know them and you love them. 2G1P and 2.0's back as well.
Yeah.
And this Techies ban is back as well. What's up with this Techies ban?
Maybe they know something that we don't. So
yeah, we don't, obviously. Yeah. Evidently.
Maybe.
It seems like pretty standard, or it's the same bans as last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the same for first bans.
Have I fear not learned anything?
Dire team ban.
Shouldn't you be banning the things that won in the game before?
And a Ricky ban. That's also very weird. Like, these are Euros. Like, okay, I get the silencer a little bit, but I mean, the Ricky and the Techies are Euros that you can deal with. It's not like the type of Euros like a Doom that you always struggle to deal with.
I think we've spoken about this first pick Shaman before. We have spoken about this in the group stages. Yeah, I don't like the first pick Shaman. Like, unless you're going to just full commit to it and you play the strategy really well, I don't think it's a very good first pick.
Yeah, I think
how would you?
I think it reveals quite a lot early on. What I'm finding fascinating here is the bans essentially from Fear is all based around team fights. I mean, Silencer, the only reason you ban that is if you're going full on team fight, but obviously Shaman shines in a pushing sort of role, so I'm interested to see what they do here.
First pick, Pancho is a good counter to Shaman. You can't shackle for too long. Visage. Oh my goodness gracious me. Is this guy still as strong as he was?
Oh my goodness, you know what's great about him is he's so versatile. There's very few matchups that he loses in the mid lane, and you can obviously run him as a POS 5 or POS 4 as well. The damage output and tankiness early game really make him quite a force to be contended with.
5 seconds remaining.
And I also think that he's one of those Euros that you underestimate very quickly. You underestimate, like you said, Matt, like how strong he is, how tanky he is in the early game. People underestimate because you click on him, you check his health pool, and you think, yeah, I think I can deal with it. I have this amount of damage, but you forget about that Gravekeeper cloak, which just makes him so tanky in the early game. I think that's what catches people off guard the most with Visage.
Well, I can say from experience that midding Versed is
not fun.
It's not fun, and you think you're on top of everything, and the Visage hits 6 with Medallion, and you just
10 seconds remaining
repeatedly. So
going along with, you said that IFU have been banning out team fight, and now they're picking Undying, which is a team fight hero, as I understand.
Absolutely. So I'm not sure how they'll build this, or how they'll build this draft. Maybe the focus is the Undying. They're going to be running heavy team fights with the Shaman split push potential later on as a sort of backup plan. I'm not sure. I can't see where they're going with this right now.
10 seconds remaining.
I like the Shadow Shaman Undying because it kind of almost secures a tower, because you get the Shaman wards just in tower range, and you drop the tombstone on the other side, on the enemy side of the tower, and you kind of force them to hit the tombstone because they can't fight into the wards to try and kill the wards. So you almost secure a tower that way for you. So that combo I've seen work quite a lot. The Shadow Shaman Undying, pushing down towers like that.
You're absolutely right. The only problem is obviously that the tombstone is almost
10 seconds
not that relevant after about 20 minutes. But early on, they should be able to push very hard into F5.
Well, I've just received some information to shed some light on this Techies debacle. Apparently it is actually Chax's most played hero.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's why they're banning it out. I honestly I was like, Art sent me the message, I'm like, you're kidding me, dude. It's his main hero, dude. Okay, well, respect bans. Yeah, they're scared of his Techies.
Alright, well, that's very interesting.
Yeah,
I would still like to see that in a like a competitive scene though.
Just take the Chax. Sorry, Chax was playing in as the
Beastmaster
off laner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye out for that in future games.
Maybe it might slip through sometime. The upcoming games. Andre, I mean, from seeing how IOFIA performed in the last game, what do they need to be doing this game differently? F5 already, quite clearly, they're good laners. They had a good draft last game, obviously, but you can see they're mechanically, they're very good laners. They know how to transition well into the mid game.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know what IOFIA need to do here.
I think, and I mentioned this last game as well, you need to realize where your strengths lie in the early game, and especially where the enemy strengths lie in the early game. So you need to realize how you're going to disrupt that, because I think the only way, like you said, F5 is obviously mechanically a little bit better than IOFIA, I think, from what I saw last game. But what you need to do is you need to disrupt their standard playstyle so that you can actually stand a chance in winning the lanes. And from there on, then you need to take the game onwards, because we saw IOFIA can take the team fights in the mid game. They know how to coordinate in the mid game, and we saw them taking a couple of good fights, even being so far behind. So if they can just take those same fights from coming from a good early game, then they could really put some pressure on F5. So I would say they need to focus on the draft and how they predict F5 is going to play the early game, and how are they going to disrupt that to try and stand a chance to outplay them in the early game just by disrupting F5's normal flow.
Dire team
this PR pick, let's see how IOFIA respond. The DK, I guess they're assuming this is going to be a mid-visage?
It would seem that way. I mean, it could be a pos 4 or 5 as well. I mean, with Pudge, it would probably be possible. But what's interesting about this DK pick is it really and truly does well versus the PL. They're sticking that DK into the off lane.
10 seconds remaining.
Should be an incredibly difficult time for the PL. And if that is a Visage mid, you're placing all your hopes on a hard pos 1 in the PL. DK there, it makes life.
But what is it that makes it actually difficult? Just the breathe fire?
It's the breathe fire. The damage reduction is really, really strong. And not only that, as soon as a doppelgang, the PL doppelgangs, if you save your breathe 5 off, that you can discern which PL it is, the original one. He just does well. And the PL can't trade with him either. The DK obviously has very high armor and regen. It's just good. I don't know how else to put it. It destroys the PL.
It's just the pick.
It's just the pick, dude.
It's just a good.
It's just a good.
Well, if you think about it as a PL, how are you going to push that DK off of the creep wave if you're laning versus him? There is literally nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And not only that, he's taking away your base damage, or at least your damage, and it's making your life more difficult to last hit. And he's just going to stand there.
You can take it. When does DK power spike? I mean, I know you play him quite a lot in that off lane.
Yeah.
What level does he spike, would you say?
I think as soon as you have 6. As an off lane DK, it all revolves around your ulti. You want to be taking a tower with your first ulti, but ideally you want rotations in so you can get a pick off with the ulti and then move straight onto the tower. So that's it. With an off lane DK, it's all ulti based.
Yeah, because without your ulti, you're not going to struggle in the lane, but you're also not going to do anything in the lane. So if you're talking about like the power spike, like you're talking about, then you talk about when are you going to be helpful towards the game. As a DK, you can only be helpful towards the game if you have ulti. Otherwise, you're just a very strong guy standing there, not really being harassed out of lane, getting your farm up.
Exactly. It's all about the corrosive breath. I mean, that tower damage is what makes DK so strong and so versatile. Just on another note here, they've picked up the Timbersaw here. I don't think that IOFIA have any answer for this hero right now.
No.
That was an incredibly good pickup by F5.
And the Luna pick into that's not going to sort their problems out.
No, I think early on the magic damage is good. If they have something to follow up with it now, that would be better. But what they've shown is their pos 4 and 5, so they know what lane they're going to be up against with the Timber, and I don't see how they destroy the Timber. They might kill him once or twice, but
what would you guys like to see picture as the fifth pick?
IOFIA, Puck.
Puck.
5 seconds
Mid Puck off lane. Well, anyway, I mean, the F5 Gaming's draft is still very open.
I would love to see Iofia pick up a mid pack here, run the Dragon Knight and the Undying in the off lane. The Undying there just to secure the Dragon Knight's lane for the beginning, and then on the Luna Shadow Shaman in the safe lane. That's, I think, enough damage for the Timbersaw, magic damage, and then rotate the Undying into the safe lane. The moment they start taking towers, they mow that tower down very quickly, and then start roaming with those 3 heroes, just hitting towers,
guys,
because I don't think F5 stops that.
Sorry, Andre. In before OD. Just wanted to get that in there.
in before OD. Yeah, OD also wrecks. Yeah, it wrecks the Pudge. It wrecks the Timbersaw. It does very well against the Phantom Lancer. The Visage, I don't know really how it does against the Visage, but the rest of the heroes.
If they take the OD, I think for me it looks like that Visage is most likely going to end up playing 5.
If they take the OD, I think they're forced to put the Visage on a 5 and pick up another mid.
Yeah, I think laning stage is not too bad. It's just obviously the
OD.
Oh, there we go. You boys called it 2.0. Sorry guys, I don't interrupt, but OD. Okay. it's the cool. OD is the pick.
So
I think Iofia was just waiting for the stream to catch up. They heard what
they're like, they have someone like listening.
10 seconds.
Well, thanks to all our stream viewers out there.
5 seconds
Giving it a watch. So F5 forced to put this Visage +5 most likely, and
yeah, I think Visage doesn't do too well against OD in the mid lane. I just think he doesn't have enough to match this OD. So let's see what they pick.
Tinker.
That's okay. I mean, it's fine. It does well against the Luna. Does well against the Dragon Knight.
All right, boys. So this is where the most fun part here. Predictions for this game. 2.0.
Well, obviously I'm a big fan of Undying DK, so my heart tells me Iofia, but I think
my mind tells me.
My mind's telling me F5 definitely.
Just from their performance last game, they're looking very good. 2.0. Sorry, 2G but 1P.
I think my heart and my mind is telling me Iofia. I like their draft a lot. I can see why they put it together. F5, I can see that it's a strong draft. I just don't necessarily see how they're going to put it together against Iofia. I know F5 plays really well, but I still think Iofia should go into this draft or into this game a little bit more confident than last game, and maybe that was the issue. Maybe they felt like they lost the draft, and that affected their play style. So I think my mind and my heart is telling me Iofia right here.
Okay, so 1 for Iofia, 1 for F5. Did you want to be hoping for a game 3? I mean, we don't mind casting more Dota. That's what we love to do.
Alright guys, well enjoy the game. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, thank you 2.0. It's been awesome having you.
Thanks.
Love your insights, and definitely check them out for the next few games.
Cool. Cheers guys.
Thanks man. Cheers. Alright. Let's get into the game 2. F5 Gaming taking on Iofia. F5 going in with a 1-0 lead. So looking good, and they will be playing from the Radiant side this time. Tango's being given the usual stuff. Give me Tango. I mean, how many times as a mid player, that's probably the most type thing you ever do in these in games. Just please, can I have 2 Tangos, please?
And then you shut up for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, you don't say anything. You just complain when no one gags or helps or whatnot.
Perfect. So yeah, we've got Iofia here playing from the Radiant side this time. And we've got F5 playing from the Dire side. It's pretty weird that they picked up this Tinker. I think this Tinker does a little bit better from the Radiant side because he can farm these 2 hard camps very close to the lane. Yeah, those 2 camps. He can farm those 2 camps really nicely. Behind, you have that trick up your sleeve, which you don't necessarily have from the Dire side. Yes, you can farm the other 2 camps, but they're a little bit further away, so it takes you a little bit more time, so it's not that effective. But still, I think it's a good pick for them in this draft. Against the Luna, against the DK, you kind of stop the physical damage push quite a lot with that laser, and March of the Machines, they can't really stand in it. The DK doesn't have too much of a problem, but the DK doesn't enjoy the laser beam misses.
F5 gonna contest for this top Radiant rune, and they will get it. So most likely gonna get 3 runes to start off the game, always nice.
Yeah, it puts you a little bit ahead, and it looks like IRF are doing this like I hoped they would. They're putting the Undying with the Dragonite just to secure those couple of first levels, and then hopefully they'll rotate him pretty soon. Just after, you don't even need to get a kill. You just need to get your Dragonite to a stage where he feels comfortable that he's not going to die in lane.
And this Tinker lineup, Tinker vs OD, I've seen it a few times. I'm not sure who favors who. I would say Tinker just because of the laser with the mischance.
Yeah, I think the Tinker does a little bit better. He struggles to outfarm the OD in like the very early game in these first couple of minutes, but after that he should be fine.
Strong stuff. So they switched it up. Alucard, who played he played offlane Beastmaster last game. He's not taking mid. I think he is the mid, what I remember. Probably maybe he doesn't play. What was that hero he played? Sorry, what was the mid last game? It was the Sniper. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't want to do it. Yo, this Undying. He's got 12 strength.
Yeah.
Visage.
That's the power. That's the power of this Undying Dragonite lane. You just can't kill it. You just get out harassed so badly.
So he's taken Dragon Blood, Elder Blood. What's the Dragon Blood?
Yeah, well, yeah, just stay in lane. Yeah. Just stay in lane. His job right now is not to get kills. It's just to stay in the lane, get XP, make sure he doesn't die, and then once you have the XP and the level advantage, then you can just smash the lane.
There go Bessie. 16 decay is stolen by Undying. Moikai, he's letting his presence be known here.
Yeah, no, he hits like a truck right now. I mean, 77 base damage. And your opponents have reduced HP. Like, he hits like a truck right now.
Probably looking for the pool in that top lane mid. Pyco damage. Yeah, Alucard doing it. I can see much more. Last game, Pyco damage has sort of had a free lane, if I'm honest, and a bit more of a challenge this time.
Nice. At least contested, yeah. So right here, where the lane is pushing in and the enemy isn't pulling, that's when you need to start getting that Undying out of the lane, get the level advantage on this Dragonite, because he's not going to be killed in lane right now. And now they're playing this too greedy. They want to get the kill right now. That's why they keep keeping the Undying in the lane, which I don't think is the right play right here.
Yeah, they're going to struggle to get it without any real stun or slow.
Yeah, they're not going to get the kill. And now the Undying is just leeching XP, which the Dragonite really needs.
Affinity. Let's rest. Because rotation mid and tech, he is there, but will be scouted out. They don't really communicate well there. Sort of, yeah, Tinker went for the rune while Pudge went in for the hook, and
yeah,
no one was ready for that. It doesn't help. Checks, gonna be shackled up. There's not a lot of damage. The other Lucent Beam actually. Checks does not have the Timber Chain. He's got the 2 points of reactive armor. Is regening quite nicely. Lucent Beam again last time.
One shock.
Oh
so
my
close.
Goodness gracious. That's solved.
I think the solve came on actually after the shock, so.
This is you were talking about this Undying just leeching. I mean, this is something I do see a lot with supports in the, I'm going to say the lower tier games. They don't know when to be in lane and when to be out of lane. You got to understand what's going. Shock Fididi though, he gets the Dragon Tail onto Pudge. Mokai dropping really low. They're going for the decay. He's got quite a lot. They're going to be brought down in the deny from Pudge as well. So that means IOFIA get nothing out of that. And Shock Fididi just going to have to back out.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem with that lane. It doesn't have to kill potential. The only reason why that lane is strong is because you can't out harass it. You can harass the enemy core out of the lane, and that way you win the lane. But you're not going to kill him. And that's what they need to realize with this lane, is that they need to get that Undying out of the lane right now, so that they can start pushing down this bot tower.
Ooh, hook barely missing. Antic, sorry, Chris. Just not Antic. Just missing the hook. Yeah, Moikai. I actually like to see him go bottom. I think they could get the kill with him there.
They could not only get the kill, but they could also
shield down. Once again, Moikai going for it right now. Bassi, he's got the long one charges, gonna pop them, but oh my, what?
Soul rip.
Jeez.
Haste.
Okay.
It's not called Soul Rip for no reason.
Yeah, dude, that was nuts, salty. He wasn't even there. He was mid at the time. Shows they can leave this Luna to solo for a bit. I think Timber's starting. He's level 5 now, and that's his.
Yeah, Timber's out leveling him. They need to get these supports in the bot lane. Otherwise, this Luna's gonna lose this lane right now. Look, he's just being bullied out of lane with right clicks from the Timbersaw. If the Timbersaw hits 6 and there's no supports, that Luna's dead. They try to rotate the Shaman into the mid lane, which I also don't think is the best play.
The Pudge just gonna hook out his teammate. Easy stuff.
Take heed!
8 laser, nice quick reactions from Cyberpunch. But he does have 8 solo insults, so that Arcano would hurt a bit. This is level 2. Kind of an interesting build. Top lane, they're going to bring down Undying once again.
Yeah, I think Moika really needs to get out of that lane. He has no business in that lane anymore.
I think he's overestimating how strong Undying is. He does start falling off towards the 10-minute mark. You got to start playing it very much more as a supporting role, you know.
Yeah, he's going top again. I really think this is starting to cost this team.
Ooh, bottom, they're going to get there we go. As you said, no support. Their Shax
level 7. Is level 6. I mean, the Luna's dead.
And this tower, wow.
Soon to follow. Yeah, it's a perfect time for a kill as well from Shax. Now he's gonna get. He probably will not get this tower on this push. He'll probably get it. No, he actually won't get it on this push.
Moikai, very low. They're gonna try and get Doppelganger away. They will find the kill. Bassi coming in, and now Dragonite very much alone. But the whole point in the draft, we said that DK dominates the lane against the PL because of the Breathe Fire.
Yeah, and he didn't take the Breathe Fire.
He's not taken a single point in Breathe Fire.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Like, I don't mind 1 point in stun, but 2.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, bottom tower already gone. Not looking good. IFE are struggling both games to figure out their lanes, like how they want to run it, where they should be going. They just seem to be running around the map.
They started off really well. They started off exactly as they should have. They just needed to rotate their Undying.
He got the hook actually, Chris. Now they find them the OD in the corner and the laser to finish him off.
Attack.
From Tinker. Chockfinity. Got 3 points in Dragon Blood. They're going to try to go for the kill. It's a nice soul assumption that does a lot of burst damage. This level 2, another Spirit Lance. They don't have the defusal yet. They probably would have got the kill. He's going for it though. Is he? Oh, might have overextended now. He's taking a lot of tower damage this Visage. Patch is there. He's coming in. But they're going back in right now. Nice Dragon Tail from Dragon Knight, buying him some time, but it's not enough. Pudge.
Oh
my goodness.
He gets the tower aggro off at least.
Yeah, it was close.
I saw him turn around and I hoped he would get it in time.
There's 20 reactive armor stacks.
Ooh, this Undying.
Undying.
Oh, he gets the quick nose. Oh no, he got the ward there, so. Now he goes bot. They should be able to get this Timber actually with the Undying, yeah.
Can do it a bit late. The Soul Ring though, they do need to be careful. It is only a level 5. Luna Lucy is gonna miss as well. Zoist needs to be really careful here. This is the chakra and they're gonna just kill him. What's the plan?
Yeah, I think a little bit of miscommunication there. The Luna ran forward as the supports started running around. He should have just hang back and waited for the supports to do the initiation and then come in.
Shackle range fairly decent. Chris. Try block off Dragon Knight. They're gonna find him, and Timbersaw going to get really scary. About to pick up the mana boots as well. This is probably I think he'll probably go Bloodstone this game. It's not a bad idea with the lane he's had.
Yeah, I mean he's had a really good start. Then you can definitely justify a Bloodstone first item. I still like something like the Eel's first item a bit more on the Timbersaw. I don't think you need Bloodstone that early. That like the old Bloodstone rush build. I was never a fan of it. I don't think you need it. Obviously it's good if you're really far ahead, you can rush it, but I think the Eul's play is a little bit better. It still gives you the mana regen, and it gives you a little bit more utility in the team fights.
Check's playing this Timber really well. He's always making sure he's got 20 reactive armor stacks on him. Just go farm the creep camp.
Middle tower is under attack.
It's nicely done. These other lanes are very stagnant.
Gold!
And it really is too late for Dragonite to be like getting breed fire. You know, he's probably just. I would just max Dragon Tail at the moment. He's already got 2 points in it. They're going Alucard, making the rotation. He's got an ace rune as well. He's dropping the arcane orb, hook from punch to try to buy some time, doing a lot of damage. Alucard actually going to do the defensive astral. Not too sure why, because they can get the kill here. He does have the hammer. He wants to drop it, looking to get it down. They're going to turn around. Typical rotation. Another stun coming out from DK. The hammer being dropped. It doesn't do too much. It does drop them below half HP. Full rotation by our Fear Shaman now. Bassi dropping really low. He's going to be killed up by the Ether Shock. And Tinker will get the kill onto Undying or return. DK finds another one with the auto attacks onto Punch. But he's in a lot of trouble right now, backing away. Chax, he's got the Soul Ring up in 1 second. They don't have any stuns though. Oh, they do, sorry, there we go. They gotta get in with the Golem's Visage. Took a little bit of time. Chax, gotta find the Chak Room and get himself another kill. He's dominating right now.
Is under attack.
4-0. This game is sort of becoming game 1 again.
I don't think it's that level yet. I think it's still a fairly even game. That was a fairly even fight. I don't think that fight really favored anyone. I think IRFear did really well considering their position. They were at a very aggressive position near the enemy tier 1. I think they took the fight very well. That Tombstone did a lot of work for them there. Their positioning was 100% fine. I think the OD could have been a little bit further back, then he wouldn't have died so quickly. Then they could have really dominated that fight.
It was a bit of an odd defensive imprisonment from him, I thought.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Elsewhere. Look at Chex, dude.
No, he's basically being the Undying in this game. He's stepping through.
Next for a big fight now. They're going to stun up Fierce out. He didn't get the shackle to Timber. Not going to be enough because Bassie's going to go for a nice soul rip from Moikai. Buying Shaman, the extra HP. He needs to turn to get another Aether Shock. Probably still going to drop down. Dragon Tail connects onto the wrong PL. Alucard's ready to move as well. Dropping quite low. Soul Assumption. Good defensive imprisonment. He's probably dead though. Bird's waiting to get the kill and the stun. And Timber on a mega kill streak. Soul Assumption, use it. There we go, Moikai. He's got all the stacks. They are dying for this. They don't give a damn. He turns around with the Soul Rip, but onto what? To no avail. Dragon Form. Not going to be used. Shockfinity is just holding on to it. I think he's going to accept his death here. And Shaman.
Keep on going.
Keep on going. Jax doesn't give a damn, dude. Just diving tier 2s, tier 3s, whatever, man.
Yeah, it's not like it's 13 minutes in the game.
Radiant's
that's got nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing.
Radiant structures are
Alucard
fortified.
does need to be careful here. Oh, he's got quite a lot of stacks. PL though, he wants to make the fight. They're going to get the hook from Antic. The quick and defensive imprisonment. It's just setting up for the birds, really.
I hope it's clear which of us
What's going on here?
Down to Ancients.
That feels bad. That would have made some exciting plays. Moikai there, A3 needs to be pretty careful. Soul Rip coming on the way. They're going to get the birds there. Hopefully the hook from Pudge to keep Visage out, but he walks back in, so... Luna though, getting the space, she's going for the Yasha first. Needs that item to help her farm.
Radiant's top
very far
tower is
behind
under attack.
the dire cause right now. Left 5, not stopping the aggression. Making an aggressive
I don't think
push.
they need to here. They need to keep this up. They are comfortable right now, and you can see it in the way they play that they're really comfortable right now. And you need to take that confidence with you and just keep that momentum going. You don't necessarily need to be far ahead in net worth, and you don't need to be far ahead in XP. As long as you've got that confidence and you're making the plays and you coordinated, you can keep that momentum going with you, and that could be very valuable for you in team fights.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And Chex, yeah, he's going for the Bloodstone.
Yeah, it looks like he's
nice learning stage.
Well,
Hook coming out, Dragon Form, he does pop the other Dragon Form. No, he doesn't, sorry. I think he's just dead again. Visage making his presence known. He doesn't even have to be there. Golem's just getting the stuns. And Chax really hurting. Oh my goodness, Antic with these hooks. Moikai gonna drop.
Radiant's bottom
Visage
tower
getting that
is
with the
under
golems.
attack.
I'm liking how they're using this this Visage. This vision, extra stuns.
Good push later on.
Hey.
It's going to be good push for them later on.
Mr. Astral Bass, he came and actually he's taking a lot of damage right now. OD. Pretty hurting, but where's the catch? TP coming in, and Tech gonna be. Actually, it's a really good one. The hammer gonna miss as well. Oh no! Alucard not getting the plays, and Soyce is probably gonna be brought down too. Body blocks coming up from Tinker of all people. Laser to finish it off. FICO damage gets the double. That was a bit of a greedy dive, yeah, with no vision.
Yeah, especially if you're playing against a hero like a Tinker, and if you just need one more support to TP in, then, because you know the Tinker is going to TP in, and if one more support, which happened there, the Purge came in, then all of a sudden you're losing that fight.
It was a bit unfortunate with the Sanity's Eclipse not finding the right PL. Alucard, I don't know if this is where he really wants to be. They need the stuns from Visage though. Hey, one.
Radiant's middle tower is
Does
under
Chaps want to go
attack.
for it? Nah.
They need to get these. Oh, okay, cool. Very well done from 3 there, resummoning his.
Ooh, nice once again, and Tinker has been playing so well on this punch.
Is under attack.
Tinker gonna get the kill on Shaman top. I'm just more interested in this because Alucard has been very bold in his positioning.
Go down top.
Yeah, Tombstone is dropped here, gonna quickly be going. UK, yeah. Lays in the back now, F5. 12k net worth, it's game 1 all over again. Moikai, I don't know what he's going to do here. Alucard, he is racking up the stacks, but he doesn't have the stack. Oh, what are these hooks? These hooks, man!
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
This Purge is really showing his worth. It's so easy on a Purge to not get these types of hooks and feel really useless in the game. But these hooks from Antic have been really on point. And his positioning as well. He's always in the right place. He's aggressive when he needs to be aggressive. He's defensive when he needs to save his teammates. His positioning has been really good.
That is the 18-minute Bloodstone for the Timbersaw. Probably going to look to, yeah, he's going to look to get some more charges very soon. Probably going to see, hopefully see a fight here. Tinker can just split push while the rest of these guys, I mean, well, they're waiting for the PL to get the diff blade. How do you take it?
Yeah, before they actually want to start fighting, they need the diff blade on the PL.
Under attack.
Soti is pretty dead.
Yeah, thank you.
Or is it? Actually, turn around. So he's got the Eclipse. He's going to use it right now. Antic is going to be dropped down. Alucard gets the kill with a Kontinuum. And Chax taking a lot of damage from that OD. Will Timber Chain out to the high ground.
Nicely done there with his chakra, clearing the way so he can Timber Chain to the high ground.
Quick thinking. Very quick. Does OD's Arcane Orbs
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yes.
They're not actually done. They want the kill. Oh my goodness, Alucard gets a quick defensive imprisonment, but the Shakram there is waiting for him. They want to get the stun. They're going to get out Dragon Tail. Not going to be enough. Soul Assumption, bringing him down. Timbersaw now in the middle of the fight. Doing a lot of work. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Buybacks. And Luna died. Where did Luna die? Top.
Yeah, they're pushing this tier 3 top with the... All this time, this PL has just been pushing.
Tinker as well is clearing the waves, keeping the pressure going. I don't think the Radiant have been on the other side of the river. Well, most of this game.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
All the outside towers are going to be down now.
What do you do against this Timber? Like the OD was the pick, but he's not.
Tower is under attack.
He doesn't have the items.
Yeah, he doesn't have the items.
Invisibility.
To face him, yeah.
Maybe his positioning is a bit odd then. Chax is like happy to take Arcane damage, yeah? He's really not worried, dude. He's regenerating up at a ridiculous rate.
Is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has
I want to say F5 need to take the rush here, but I think they're so confident this stage, they're just going to push high ground.
slowly besieging. F5, they want to find the opening. I feel once again on the defensive. Chatso doesn't give a damn. Early, very aggressive timber chain. They're going for it. Sort of just dancing around. It did force out the tombstone, so maybe they're going to wait this out, I think. Want to wait out the zombies. Timbersaw just going in. Jack's throwing in the check rooms. The defensive ward's being jumped to hold this tier 3. Timbersaw still good. Punch missing the defensive hook. Not needed as timber chain enough to get him out. Though these zombies are... wow, they are doing a marathon. So a lot committed to try to defend this high ground. There's no more tombstone, no more serpent boards.
I just need to back up a little bit, wait all these cooldowns off, and
here we go.
Redo.
If Antic can land another sick hook, it's really going to open up the way for them.
Yeah, F5.
Looks like F5 might just farm now.
No, I think they just want the lanes to push in. They're just going to go fetch the lanes quick, and then I think they're going to redo this.
I fear, I mean, OD is but absolutely nothing. Yep. Even getting the Wraith ban before the the 4-staff. How do you, when you go for Hurricane Pike, it depends, I guess, on what hero you're playing. I mean, would you go 4-star first, Dragon Lance, or Wraith ban?
I think unless you're playing a more utility type hero, I think it's almost always better to go for the Dragon Lance.
Oh, there's the hook. He finds it. Defensive imprisonment from the OD.
Yeah, this might be.
He doesn't have anything to get out. He's got nothing to get himself out of there. Chuck's going to find a kill, and that's opening his way up forward. They're going to be Lunar Clips in the backline. They bring down Visage. He doesn't get the stun. Shock Infinity. They're going to come nuking down Tibbus or Chax. Can he survive? He's trying to turn this around, but he just died. He will be back up immediately. So, immediately.
You can just buy his TP boots here, yeah, and be right there.
Successful high ground defense, though. There's tier 3 top.
Yeah, it's gonna
fall.
Radiant's top tower.
Choice now. He needs to be careful. Timber's back up, and there's no ultimates, as we said. F5 can just cut out these ults. They got enough split push to keep these waves pushing. All the while, PL just sitting in the jungle, happy as a clam. Oh, he's mid now. Sorry, what am I saying? I was Tinker. There, I see the minigame.
Get over it.
Oh,
Radiant's bottom tower.
These are big hooks. Like, he's not just hooking anyone, he's hooking the OGs and the Lunars and the...
And they're playing it perfectly. I mean, they're just keeping the lanes pushed in, not overcommitting. Like, sometimes Shax overcommits a little bit, I think. But overall, they're not overcommitting too much and just waiting for the hooks.
Wow, now they're hands up, because... oh my goodness. Dagon, dude. What level Dagon is that?
Eliminating. Tinker is just deleting people.
He's just not there anymore, dude.
Yeah, just what? I'm sure I had a hero.
Like, I'm sure, what? I was standing right here, man. This is not where I parked my car.
No, he's just deleting people from this game.
Yeah, that's all the while, just pushing in top.
Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Out.
I think this is a...
This game, definitely. They're going to get 3 of these Raxes at the same time.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
They've played F5's really played this really well.
That played pretty well. Big fight on there. I think once again just deleting people. Antec going to back himself away just some time. Zorsi wanted the kill, not going to get it. The rocket is not going to find it. Quick defensive Astral on his teammate from Alucard. And he does clear out the birds as well, which is quite nice.
Yeah, but I mean, top's going down, bot's going down, mid's going down.
What did Timber take the 100 damage? Yeah, he did. No, he did. Oh, OD just did again.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Got the punch down.
Lunar Eclipse, it's just going to hit creeps. Unfortunately, Tinker doesn't care.
Radiant's top
No, he's dead. Come on. There we go. There we go. And I think Biofear just not throwing in the towel yet, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last game. You don't want...
Well, why not? Last game of the tournament. They had a good run. They got you to the quarters, but this is a GG well played, finally called, and very convincing victory by F5. If they keep playing like this for the rest of the tournament,
yeah, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and I'm so keen to see that techies.
I see this Jack's techies now, man. Anyway, that's all from us. Are we casting again later?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
There's another game. There's another game at 3, guys. I'm gonna tell you guys now what the game at 3 is. In a second.
It's gonna be cost.
Never get free, lamb to the slaughter. What you gon' do when there's blood in the water? The price of your greed is your son and your daughter. What you gon' do when there's blood in the water? Look me in my eyes, tell me everything's not fine. All the people ain't happy, and the river has run dry. You thought you could go free, but that system is done for. If you listen real closely, there's a knock at your front door. You'll never get free, lamb to the slaughter. What you gon' do when there's blood in the water? The price of your greed is your son and your daughter. What you gon' do when there's blood in the water? When there's blood in the water.
What? You're fucking insane, dude.
Just wiped it. For another dollar in your pocket. Now I am the violence. I am the
committed to bring back the over into a sun-strike cold feet proc. Yoda blinking forward now. Sorry, time-lapse forward. Gonna get Surge up, taking a lot of damage over time damage from the backline. The 626 taking the big NATO combo. The boat as well coming in. Doesn't connect, but it's not needed because the Kontinuum on the team is
okay. All things considered, the tri lane he's played against, but like you said, the support's not offering any support here in the bottom lane. And now TH is trying to dive again, but now they make the formation. They get the move onto Kontinuum under the tower. Sorry, onto Templar Assassin, I mean. But does she get a refraction off? No, but she's gonna run it off. She'll be fine. Kontinuum trying to chase, but in the backline, here comes in the Witch Doctor trying to bring down Storm. But the repel is there, but it's not enough. He's gonna go down as well. Fourth time this game, they get a return kill onto the Witch Doctor. But looks like TA, she wants to re-engage. She comes in with a refraction, doing the heal to the Crystal Maiden. Is it enough? Oh, the last hit.
Okay, open wounds and Enrage already used. Rage, sorry, not Enrage. That's Ace's ability. P from DT up to 3, gonna bring them back right now. Ravage a bit late as the Dream Tunnel connects. It's gonna snap as well as they bring back the RP with the skewer. The RT, he's gonna try and fight this right now. Buybacks from Lifestealer and Bane. Evolution looking to just take objectives. Will they disengage? They're gonna sneak up Void right now. Pack in the middle of a lot of trouble. It's got a lot of escape though, gonna get up. Aim is still available on Void right now. Lucy is going for the right click. Tough
monster kill of this Invoker right now.
Is under attack.
I think the best play right now Ramsey is to just get all the tier 2s out, go Roche, and immediately push high ground. He's so far ahead right now that really can't afford to do risky plays like that.
Judy, he's actually making them work for this one. The high block is coming top, and Minor up to 2 brings down the quad. If Judy's still alive, he's going to get the kill on the Rain Skin. Biceps, the last one left. He's also really low with the Frost Blast. Great stuff from him.